Good evening traders, it's Simon at Coast Capital Markets. Today I want to show you a trade that won, but I didn't take it because I didn't like it, and it's a trade I did suggest on Thursday, week 27 day 4 it would have been. So I'm going to go through it bit by bit and we'll show you why I didn't take it and so you understand what I look for price action and how I incorporate multi-time frame analysis into all my trades now. So we was looking at copper, take it short, and we was looking at this daily, this is a daily chart here, and we're looking at this daily signal here, 3 days down in the run, and I said looking for a small pullback on the intraday and take it to the recent lows again. Pretty much that's what I was looking for, but it had to be clean. So let me explain to you why this was not clean, and you'll see why. As you can tell, it did head down lower, and obviously it would have hit my profit target before hitting my stop, no problem at all, and it would have been an absolute valid trade in what I was looking for, except for it did something different which I didn't like. So just to give you some heads up here, I was worried about this daily 50, so it's a quick in and out trade. You can see the trend is higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. This could have been a higher low here. I mean, you've got Fibonacci levels here from the recent swing lows to swing highs. So you want to get in and get out as quick as possible. So this trade has to be perfect for me to take it, because if it's not, what's the point in taking off the trades if you're not going to comply to your rules? So on the 4-hour chart, we had this kind of candle here. It had a breakdown of the 4-hour chart, breakdown the 4-hour 50 EMA, and the 4-hour 50 was heading up towards the pivot, and we had this low test here. So for me personally, I needed some good rejection around the 4-hour 50 and 1-hour 50, and I'll show you what actually happened prior to that. So this is what it was looking like when I saw the trade. And as you can see, it's just pulling up. So the low test on the 4-hour chart doesn't bother me too much, because we've got this semi-triangle here being formed, or has formed. You could say it's a break and retest of it. You could. Definitely a downward sloping trend line. Definitely a downward trend. The 1-hour 50 here, this 200 EMA was just coming into it as well. So what I was looking for was a pop-up to test this area here at 2.655. Just mark that in, we change that for you because it looks a bit confusing. 5.5, there you go. I'm looking for a test of this area, then come down, close below the 4-hour 50 and the pivot, and I will happily taking it short down to recent lows, round here again to recent lows. But what happened was this: price just moved down and did this, made it, and just stopped there halfway through. So myself personally, the first thing it says is you moved down already, you moved almost to my profit target, as my profit target was here. I'm not interested no more, simple as that. But then it did something very, very interesting. It then moved up and moved up, tested the 1-hour 50, just kissed that key level there, and then closed down below the pivot. There you go, guys. So effectively, you could say it's done what I wanted it to do. But look what happened earlier. It's made a double bottom pattern. Now the question you have to ask yourself is this: is this double bottom pattern bullish or bearish price action? Well, it's bullish price action. The double bottom bullish price action. So the fact that it's done that and moved up, effectively in this little bit here, I know on the 4-hour chart it's still looking bearish, but on this little mini day session trade here, it's now looking bullish. And bear in mind, look at the times now at the bottom. This happened at, what time is that? 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. This had happened. So the session was meant to go up, test, then come down. So this should have been lower, but it hasn't. It made a double bottom, then broke above here. So my initial thinking was, it's junk now, not interested. Okay, guys? And as you can see, what happened was, tested it again, and it broke down, it did. So you could say that it broke down, and as you can see, it's now decelerating. You could say here this is almost forming a higher low there as such. You could say just slightly. Then it started moving back up again, and it's just messing around now, simple as that. So for me now, as you can see, the one day it should be in 6, 7, 8, no, what's this, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, the whole entire day now, this did not go nowhere near. So this is why I didn't like it. The double bottom pattern did stop this from heading lower to start with. Now as you can see, we're heading to the next day now, so this trade is really absolutely trashy in my eyes. Yeah, we moved around again, and now you can say here was almost a triple bottom there, or you know, the low, it's just not looking very good at all. They had a bullish engulfing candle that would look very bad. It did break down again afterwards, so it tested the trend line again, it tested the 1-hour 50 again, and also the 4 hour 50 again it tested. But then if you look at the 4 hour chart, look what's happened here. This price action is really, really messy. Look at this chop. That's all chop, that is. Total and utter chop, that is. So the whole day I was looking to trade was chop. It was mess. There's your high test on the 4 hour 50. Not the greatest, so you could say. It's an inverse hammer, which is that also could be a better bullish signal there. And then as you notice here, it had this huge low test here with a huge wick, which happened that would have been called for NFP. So I had to hold this trade for NFP as well. So for me personally, that it was not a valid trade, although it did then grind down afterwards. But what I want to show you is that understanding this is this price action here, this double bottom action here I didn't like it. Had it just formed and grinded up, and say this come up to test this area here. So imagine the price just did that, like that, and then put me entry, and then put me entry in, say, like I wanted to, like here, then come down, then do that. That's not a problem. I wouldn't mind if it's done that and then did this, like that. But the fact it put a double bottom in, that is bullish price action, and that's not very good. And you can see the MACD now is actually bullish MACD divergence. So not entering this trade was actually, for me, the right thing to do. And that's what I look for in multi-time frame analysis. I look along every single time frame to see what is actually happening, and to actually think to myself, is this trade really valid? And when you put a double bottom in, it's only meant to be a short-term trade. Instead of moving 170 pips, it already moved 130 pips almost. So it's moved at least 2/3 of my target. So I'm not interested. But more importantly, also understand, look where my stop was. Look how high up my stop is as well for this trade. You could say it's kind of cutting it with this as well, but like I said, it's a live entry. Once this happened, I was quite happy. So the stop is absolutely fine. Clearly the limit is fine as well. Like I said, to recent lows, that's what I was looking for. The recent lows are around here somewhere. Why did I pick this level here as well? Let's go back to that very quickly, and we'll zoom out on the 5-minute chart, and I'll show you why we took that level there. So if you look here on this part here, so look on the two screens where the cursor goes together, you can see that I wanted the level at 2.6315. So we just tap that in very quickly, 2.6315. And we'll go on the 5-minute chart, and I'll show you what I was looking for. I'm not looking for a little wick to get me out. I'm actually looking for good price action there. Notice how the candle come down on the 5-minute chart and actually stayed within it for a whole 5 minutes. And then you can say it was there after as well for a little bit as well. So this here would have triggered me out. Some people go, oh, well, I go down to there or something. You can squeeze it a bit more, squeeze a bit more. What's the point, guys? You might not get out with your spreads. That's the problem you have. So having it in a place like this, you're pretty much guaranteed on this kind of price chart that get out there. That's why the price was done where it was. Otherwise, you could turn around and say, "Oh no, I want to take it there and push it more and more." But then you've got this problem here, this wick here at the bottom as well. So if we go further along here now, we know where the limit is. Okay, so it did go through it twice. It did cleanly go through it. But if it's further down, say here, only a little bit went through. So that's the problem you have, guys. Anyway, I hope you have a good weekend. We've got a review coming up soon as well, and I will speak to you soon. Take care.